Yeah, morning again, peeps. It's Smithers here. My God, man, I've been so busy. I'm actually at work, but I've got this video. I felt like, I need to drop this message real quick, So, what I want to talk about is why women are so ungrateful. I repeat it. Why women are so ungrateful. Type of woman whereby you've got money in your account, £20,000, you're dating her, just giving you different scenarios, and she dropped in like a bit of difficulty, she can't pay your mortgage, and you dipped in your account, in your savings, you took £15,000 out, you helped her to clear her mortgage off or to pay some money on her mortgage. You helped that woman to pay her car insurance. Just giving you different scenarios. She's in a position where she's not working. She's got a car on finance. They're going to repossess the car because she's missed like 2 or 3 months. You help that woman. Maybe you had something to do. You put yourself last to put her first. Certain scenarios. Maybe she's got a kid. The biological father is not really there for the child. You've helped out in certain situations. And, when the relationship ends or when you're arguing, she tells you that you've never done nothing for her. So, most men, just be real about the subject. Most men who's dated, different women, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different women over a period of years. It's a strong possibility that you've actually met some of these women when the relationship has ended and you've done numerous amount of things. She's actually looked and said to you she can't remember you ever doing nothing for her, or you've never done nothing for her, which actually is a shock. Now I'm going to tell you the reason why most women are like that, and it stems from obligation. Okay, remember that word. When you're obligated to someone. Okay, and there's another terminology, a sense of entitlement. Remember those two terminology. Now, if you go back in biblical times, they normally say a man is supposed to provide, protect a woman, and a woman is supposed to do certain things. Okay, I'm going to tell you the trick, something that's going on now that most women use. I'm going to talk about obligation. Okay. Now, we tend to provide for a woman because we feel like we're obligated to provide for a woman. That's what he says. We are men. We stick to our cause. But women, whenever they're meant to do something for you, whenever they're meant to carry out a duty, they always, or a good chunk of the time, they'll come up with this: I'm tired. This is the 21st century. It's the 21st century. It's the empowerment of women. I don't need to do this. You can do it yourself. That's how women are. So while you are obligated to her, or she'll make you feel like you're obligated to her, she doesn't feel that she is obligated to you. You understand the difference? She always make excuses, okay, and she always says it's the 21st century. Okay, the other thing is a sense of entitlement. Now let me explain this to you. I'm going to bring up a very famous scenario. You remember 50 Cent, right? Remember he had this problem with his child's mom because she thinks or she knows he's rich, so she felt that his child should ask him for 50 pairs of sneakers. Now, in his mind, he's thinking, why do you need 50 pairs of sneakers? And the reason why the woman told the child to do that is because she feels, because he's the child's dad and he's got money, he's entitled, the child is entitled to 50 pairs of sneakers. Okay? Now, it's the same philosophy that woman uses. And I'm going to tell you who it actually affects most. When you are in a relationship with a woman, not the side man, not these fancy terms, when you are the one who's known to be in a relationship with a woman, you're affected mostly by an ungrateful woman. The reason being, when you're in a committed relationship with a woman, as I said before, she feels you're obligated to her. She feels a sense of entitlement. Just like you have a child, you're obligated, or the child is entitled for you to take care of him, nurture him, take him to school, protect him, and everything. So whatever you give that child, it's not deemed as nothing special. You're obligated to carry out those duties. The child is entitled everything that you do for them. And that's the same mentality of a woman. She feels a sense of entitlement. So when you're with her, she feels anything you do for her. It doesn't matter if you spend £1 million, doesn't matter if you save herself or you save her from getting your car taken away. It doesn't matter if you was a good father. She feels she's entitled to that. The only difference is she doesn't feel you're entitled to nothing from her. And some people will dispute the fact, but let me give you a scenario. Okay? Sex, a simple one. Have you ever lent a woman some money, a woman that you've been sleeping with, and when it's time to get the money back, she says to you, I was sleeping with you. So she takes the money as a form of payment. If a woman lends you money, when it's time to give that woman back the money, you can't say to the woman, I was sleeping with you. You understand the difference? So a woman actually feels that a man is entitled or a man is obligated to give her or to do things for her, but she doesn't feel obligated or entitled to do nothing for a man. Okay? And just like a child, when you're obligated to do something for your child, it doesn't mean that you're doing nothing special. It's something that the child is entitled to. And because she feels that you're entitled to do something for her, she doesn't see it as you're doing nothing special for her. It doesn't matter how much you've given her, how much time you've saved her. She doesn't look at it like you're doing nothing special for her because she feels she's entitled to it. You know? So that's how it really affects the man that's actually dating this woman. Now, you might say on the flip side, what about the man, you know, if she has a man that she's sleeping with differently from you? You know what goes on in the 21st century. Those men tend to get more out of your woman if he's the side man, because remember, he is someone else's property. Okay? Remember that. He is someone else's property. So if that man gives that woman what you gave her, because she doesn't feel entitled to it, because he's not her property, she'll appreciate it. You understand the difference? Because she doesn't feel entitled to it. Just like You walking on the street and somebody came up to you and give you £1,000, you appreciate it if it's a stranger. If your brother gave you £1,000, you will appreciate it, but not so much. So it's the same thing, same principle that applies to this thing we're talking about. A woman is more likely to appreciate someone and getting something from someone who she doesn't have complete control over, because she knows that person is somebody else's property and she doesn't feel a sense of entitlement to whatever she's getting. But when you're with her, she thinks, or she'll make it seem, you're obligated to her. So whatever you're giving her, it's nothing special. And that's the reason. I hope I explained it correctly. That's the reason when you break up with a woman, you're always left, or 99% of the time, you're always left saying, that woman is so ungrateful. That woman don't remember or didn't remember what I done for her when I saved her. That's when you're normally left saying those type of things. So one of the only ways to cure this is hold that woman accountable to anything, to any task that she's meant to complete. Don't let her get away with saying, oh, I'm a woman, because when it's time for you, a woman doesn't say, oh, he's a man. They don't really appreciate man. So hold her accountable to any duties, any task she's supposed to complete or she's supposed to carry out. Okay? And always keep a bit back. Don't give everything to a woman. One of the only ways to keep a woman intrigued and interested is to give her something. It's like you tease them. Like a baby, when you're going to put something in their mouth, you put it to their mouth and you hold it back. You put it to their mouth and you hold it back. Always tease them. Don't just give everything away. Don't neglect yourself. Don't put yourself last. Because women are really ungrateful. And 99% of the time, they're more ungrateful to the person who they are actually in a full-blown relationship with. They're more grateful to somebody who they're dating on the side. If they're dating another woman's man, they're more grateful to that man, because they don't feel that man is obligated to give them nothing. So when that man does give them something, they appreciate it more. While you, on the other hand, because you're supposedly their man, they don't see it as you're doing nothing special. You understand? So I know most men goes through these things with women. So if you like what I just said, like, share, subscribe, spread the word, leave a comment. It's all about empowerment of men. Empowerment of men. Know the type of woman that you're dating, so that we can have more fulfilling, more rewarding relationships. And like having any conversation, like some women, it's possible might come on the channel. Most women, they're gonna object and say, no, I'm not like that. Yeah, but like any conversations, if you're not like that, then give yourself a round of applause. We're not talking to you, but we're talking about the masses, the majority. Okay? So, peace out.